Is U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance on borrowed time? U.S. President Donald Trump is reportedly conducting a behind-the-scenes performance review of his own vice president, raising fresh questions about whether Vance could be the next high-profile figure to fall out of favor. According to multiple sources cited by CNN, Trump has been quietly reaching out to close allies and advisors, asking them to rate Vance's performance. The calls reportedly came as Vance led high-stakes negotiations with Iran during a trip to Islamabad, Pakistan. Trump is said to have stayed in constant contact, speaking with Vance as many as a dozen times during a 21-hour stretch of talks. But beyond direct updates, the president was also asking a more pointed question: how well is his vice president actually performing? The scrutiny comes after the first round of talks between the U.S. and Iran collapsed over last weekend. While both sides say negotiations are ongoing, the setback has put Vance squarely in the spotlight, and Trump has already signaled how he plans to frame the outcome. He joked at a recent Easter event, "If it doesn't happen, I'm blaming J.D. Vance. If it does happen, I'm taking full credit." Behind the scenes, comparisons are already being drawn. Trump has reportedly asked confidants how Vance stacks up against his Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. Rubio recently brokered a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon, boosting his standing within the administration. Both men are widely seen as potential contenders for the 2028 Republican presidential nomination. That rivalry is now adding another layer of pressure on Vance. The tension isn't just about performance, it's also about policy. Vance has reportedly clashed with Trump over the war in Iran. A report by the New York Times described Vance as the only senior voice opposing a full-scale attack, calling it costly and strategically distracting. Trump has publicly acknowledged the divide, saying Vance is philosophically a little bit different. The U.S. vice president is also navigating a difficult political landscape. Gas prices are rising, segments of the MAGA base are uneasy about foreign policy decisions, and Vance has struggled at times to match Trump's aggressive messaging style. At a recent Turning Point USA event, Vance acknowledged that younger voters are not fully aligned with the administration's Middle East strategy.
So, just this Iran thing. Charlie would be the guy who was talking to the people who really wanted to go to war with Iran and the people who really didn't want to go to war with Iran. And he would try to find ways for those guys to work together, even if they disagreed over one issue, right? And so Charlie's absence is a huge thing. I recognize that a lot of young voters don't love the policy that we have in the Middle East. Okay, I understand that. I'm not saying you have to agree with me on every issue. What I'm saying is, don't get disengaged because you disagree with the administration on one topic. Get more involved. Make your voice heard even more. That's how we ultimately take the country back. Right now, the ceasefire is holding. And what you're seeing is what the president wants to make. He doesn't want to make like a small deal. He wants to make the grand bargain. And what he's basically offering to Iran is very simple. And frankly, it's something that no president has had the ability to offer. He said that if you're willing to act like a normal country, we are willing to treat you economically like a normal country. He doesn't want a small deal. And that's one of the reasons why, one, I'd say in Pakistan, we made a ton of progress. But the reason why the deal is not yet done is because the president, he really wants a deal where Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon, Iran is not state sponsoring terrorism, but also the people of Iran can thrive and prosper and join the world economy. And that's the trade that he's offering. He's saying, if you guys commit to not having a nuclear weapon, we are going to make Iran thrive. We're going to make it economically prosperous, and we're going to invite the Iranian people into the world economy in a way they haven't been in my entire life. And that's the kind of Trumpian grand bargain that the president has put on the table. Man, we're going to keep on negotiating and try to make it happen because it would be great for the world, it'd be great for our country, it'd be great for everybody. So I'm going to keep on fighting to make it happen.
Sources reportedly say Trump has made snide and annoyed remarks about Vance in private, particularly over his lack of enthusiasm for the war effort. Despite that, the U.S. president has not publicly withdrawn support. For now, Vance remains Trump's point man on Iran negotiations, But real insiders say the real test is still ahead. With recent exits and shakeups already hitting the administration, questions are growing louder. Could Vance be next? Or will a successful deal with Iran secure his standing and possibly strengthen his position ahead of 2028? For now, J.D. Vance remains firmly in office, but as Donald Trump weighs his options behind closed doors, the vice president's future may depend on one thing: results.